Welcome to this week's live video. Following calls earlier this week between Pete Hegseth and China's Defense Minister Dong Jun, as well as Secretary of State Marco Rubio and China's top diplomat Wang Yi, there's renewed optimism that a Trump-Xi meeting will happen sometime in the next 2 months. An even more important signal, the fact that LeBron James has penned an editorial in the Communist Party mouthpiece, The People's Daily. In that piece, LeBron argues that basketball can be a bridge between the U.S. and China. The People's Daily almost never runs editorials by foreigners, and to my knowledge, they've never run one by an NBA star. The fact that Beijing has decided to do this now shows just how much they would like to see this warming trend in U.S. China relations continue. Of course, we don't know whether the Trump-Xi meeting ultimately will happen or not. The U.S. has shown a propensity for sudden and sometimes puzzling policy changes on tariffs. Whether or not that meeting actually happens between the two presidents, we do know that there's a whole lot at stake for American business, and in particular for American farmers. Arguably, no one is more exposed to the health of the U.S. China relationship than American soybean farmers in Midwestern states like Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. Last year, China bought 4 billion bushels of American soybeans. This was a full 1/4 of the American soybean crop and amounted to $13 billion of purchases. And that's up 6 times in the last 20 years. China imposed retaliatory tariffs on American soybeans earlier this year. Since then, China has continued to buy ever more Brazilian soybeans, as well as also those from Uruguay and from Argentina. The U.S. soybean harvest starts right now in September. So far this year, there have been 0 purchases by China, zero purchases. Trump has called on the Chinese side to buy more American soybeans or to start buying American soybeans again. Soybean farmers have been hopeful that a trade agreement would have purchase pledges to buy more American soybeans. So far, none of that has happened. As the harvest continues here in the Midwest, we'll have to see what happens. Tune in next week for Trade War live video again. Thanks as always.